Aries, have you ever had a feeling about something that you could not explain? A quiet inner pull that had no logical basis, no supporting evidence, no rational justification, and yet it turned out to be completely right? That is your intuition. And right now, it is waking up in a way it has not in a very long time. Something is shifting inside you, Aries, a subtle recalibration of your inner compass that is beginning to point you toward better income paths, toward opportunities you would never find through logic alone, toward a kind of financial guidance that comes not from spreadsheets or strategies, but from the deepest, wisest part of who you are. Most people ignore this voice. Most people dismiss it as fantasy or wishful thinking, or the irrational noise of a mind that cannot be trusted. But you are not most people. And the intuition that is stirring inside you right now is not noise. It is a signal that could change the entire direction of your financial life, if you have the courage to listen to it, and the wisdom to follow where it leads. Whisper 1. The moment you stopped forcing and started feeling. There was a moment, maybe recently, maybe not so long ago, when something inside you quietly surrendered. Not in defeat, not in resignation, but in the way a river surrenders to the valley it flows through, following the natural contours of the land rather than trying to cut straight through the mountain. You stopped forcing your financial life to move in the direction you demanded and began to feel, for the first time in a long while, that there might be another way. A way that does not require you to exhaust yourself pushing against walls that will not move. This moment of surrender is where intuition begins its work. Because as long as your mind is screaming commands and your willpower is clenched like a fist around your financial plans, there is no space for the quieter voice to be heard. It is like trying to hear a whisper in the middle of a thunderstorm. The whisper is there. It is always there. But the noise of your own effort drowns it out completely. When you stopped forcing, even for a moment, even for a single breath of release, you created a gap, a tiny opening in the wall of noise. And through that opening, something slipped in. A thought, a feeling, a direction that did not come from your logical mind but from somewhere deeper and far more ancient. That was your intuition introducing itself. Not with fireworks or dramatic revelations, but with the gentlest of nudges. A nudge that said, there is another path. You have not seen it yet because you have been staring so hard at the one in front of you that your peripheral vision disappeared. But it is there. And if you turn your head just slightly, just enough to let your gaze soften and your awareness expand, you will see it. And it will make more sense than anything your logical mind has come up with in years. Whisper 2. Financial ideas that arrive without invitation. The second sign that your intuition is guiding you toward better income paths is the sudden appearance of financial ideas that you did not consciously seek. These are not the kind of ideas that come from research or analysis or careful study of the marketplace. These are ideas that arrive uninvited, like a bird landing on your windowsill. You were not looking for them. You were not expecting them. And yet there they are, clear and vivid and surprisingly complete, sitting in your mind as if they have always belonged there. Maybe it is an idea for a small venture that leverages something you already know how to do. Maybe it is a creative solution to a financial problem that has been bothering you for months. Maybe it is a sudden clarity about where your money should be directed. A clarity that cuts through the fog of confusion and presents an answer so simple and so obvious that you wonder how you missed it before. These uninvited ideas are not random mental static. They are downloads from your intuitive faculty, which has been quietly processing information your conscious mind overlooked and synthesizing it into actionable insights. The challenge for you, Aries, is not receiving these ideas. Your intuition sends them regularly. The challenge is taking them seriously. Your logical mind is trained to dismiss anything it did not generate through a recognized process of analysis. If an idea does not come with a spreadsheet and a 10-step plan, it gets filed under fantasy and forgotten. But some of the most profitable ventures in history began as uninvited ideas that defied conventional logic. They began as whispers that someone was brave enough to follow. Be that someone, Aries. The next time a financial idea lands in your mind without invitation, do not dismiss it. Examine it. Test it gently. Hold it up to the light and see what it reveals. Because your intuition does not waste your time with irrelevant information. If it sent you the idea, there is a reason. And that reason is worth exploring. Whisper 3. The gut feeling about people and their intentions. Your intuition is not only guiding you toward better income paths through ideas and insights. It is also trying to protect you by giving you accurate readings of the people you interact with in your financial life. You have always had a strong gut feeling about people, Aries. You can sense honesty and dishonesty with remarkable accuracy when you allow yourself to trust that sense. But over the years, you may have overridden those feelings in the name of politeness, pragmatism, or the desire to keep the peace. Think back to the times when you had a bad feeling about a financial arrangement, a business partner, or a person who was asking for your money or your trust, and you ignored that feeling. How many of those situations ended well? And now think about the times when you trusted your gut completely, when you walked away from something that looked good on paper but felt wrong in your bones. How many of those decisions turned out to be exactly right? Your track record with intuition is almost certainly better than your track record with pure logic. And yet you keep choosing logic over intuition because that is what the world taught you to do. The guidance that is available to you right now includes clearer and stronger readings of the people entering your financial orbit. Pay attention to who makes your energy expand and who makes it contract. Pay attention to whose presence feels light and easy and whose feels heavy and complicated. These are not superficial preferences. These are intuitive assessments of energetic compatibility, and they are directly relevant to your financial future. The people you choose to work with, invest with, and exchange financial energy with will have an enormous impact on the income paths that open or close for you in the months ahead. Whisper 4. The recurring dream or vision that will not leave. There is something you keep seeing in your mind's eye, Aries. A vision of a life that is different from the one you are currently living. Maybe it is a specific image, a place, an activity, a way of spending your days that fills you with a quiet excitement whenever it surfaces. Maybe it is more abstract. A feeling of freedom, of spaciousness, of creative expression that you cannot quite translate into concrete terms, but that you recognize instantly when it appears. This recurring vision is not a daydream. It is not wishful thinking or escapist fantasy. It is your intuition showing you the destination it is trying to guide you toward. Most people dismiss recurring visions because they seem impractical or unrealistic, given their current circumstances. They compare the vision to their present reality and conclude that the gap is too wide to cross. But your intuition does not show you things that are impossible. It shows you things that are possible for you specifically, taking into account your unique talents, your specific life situation, and the opportunities that are forming in the energy field around you. If the vision keeps returning, it is because the path to its realization exists. Your intuition would not waste its energy painting a picture of something you could never reach. Start taking this recurring vision seriously, Aries. Instead of dismissing it, investigate it. What would it take to bring even a small piece of that vision into your current life? What is the first tiny step you could take in that direction? You do not need to make the entire vision real tomorrow. You just need to honor it by moving toward it. And as you do, your intuition will reveal the next step and the next and the next, unfolding the path before you one footfall at a time. Whisper 5. Physical sensations that signal financial alignment. This might surprise you, Aries, but your body is one of the most reliable financial advisors you will ever have. Your intuition communicates through physical sensations as much as through thoughts and feelings, and learning to read those sensations can give you an enormous advantage in navigating the income decisions that lie ahead of you. Think about what happens in your body when you consider a financial opportunity that is truly right for you. There is usually a feeling of expansion, a lightness in your chest, a relaxation in your shoulders, a warmth that spreads through your core. Your breathing deepens naturally. Your muscles soften. Your whole body says yes in a language that predates words by millions of years. Now think about what happens when you consider an opportunity that is wrong for you, no matter how attractive it looks on the surface. There is a tightening, a constriction, a knot in your stomach or a tension in your jaw that you might dismiss as ordinary stress, but that is actually your intuition sounding an alarm. These physical signals are remarkably accurate, far more accurate than any analysis or calculation your conscious mind can produce. Because your body is processing information from sources your mind cannot access. Subtle energetic cues, subconscious pattern recognition, the accumulated wisdom of every experience you have ever had. When your body says yes, it is because the totality of your being, not just the small sliver that handles conscious thought, recognizes that the opportunity is aligned with your highest good. When your body says no, it is because that same totality has identified something that your conscious mind has not yet detected. Start checking in with your body before making financial decisions. Not instead of thinking things through, but in addition to it. Ask yourself how this decision feels in your body. Notice the physical sensations that arise. And give those sensations the weight they deserve in your decision-making process. They are not random. They are not noise. They are your most ancient and most reliable guidance system. And right now they are working overtime to point you toward better income paths. Whisper 6. The quiet discomfort with your current financial path. There is a discomfort growing inside you, Aries, and it has to do with the financial path you are currently on. It is not a dramatic, acute pain. It is more like a splinter, small enough to ignore most of the time, but persistent enough that you never fully forget it is there. Something about the way you are currently earning, spending, saving, or relating to money does not feel right. Something is misaligned, and that nagging feeling of misalignment is not a flaw in your character. It is your intuition signaling that you have outgrown the current path, and that a better one is available. If what you're hearing feels accurate, imagine what could happen if you applied this energy intentionally for 21 consecutive days. That's exactly what the 21-day program in the pinned comment is built for. Daily guidance, focused direction, and real momentum. If you're tired of staying in the same cycle, this is your structure. Many people suppress this kind of discomfort because addressing it would require change, and change is frightening. They tell themselves that the current path is fine, that they should be grateful for what they have, that rocking the boat is dangerous. And so they carry the splinter for years, adjusting their grip on life to avoid pressing directly on it, never realizing that the simple act of removing it would bring relief they cannot imagine. Your intuition is not asking you to blow up your financial life. It is not asking you to quit everything and start from scratch. It is asking you to acknowledge the discomfort, to investigate its source, and to be willing to make adjustments that bring your financial path back into alignment with who you truly are and who you are becoming. Sometimes those adjustments are small: a different approach to budgeting, a new way of thinking about what your time is worth, a willingness to explore income sources that align more closely with your natural talents and passions. And sometimes those adjustments are larger: a career shift, a new venture, a fundamental reorientation of how you relate to money and work. Whatever the size of the adjustment, the key is honoring the discomfort instead of suppressing it. Because that discomfort is your compass, and it is pointing you towards something better. Whisper 7. Synchronicities that keep pointing in the same direction. The seventh whisper from your intuition takes the form of synchronicities. Meaningful coincidences that seem too perfectly timed and too specifically relevant to be accidental. You think about a particular type of opportunity, and within days, someone mentions it to you without any prompting. You wonder about a skill you should develop, and a class or resource appears in your awareness as if summoned. You ask the universe for a sign, and the sign appears so clearly and so quickly that it takes your breath away. These synchronicities are not proof of magical thinking. They are evidence of alignment. When your inner world and your outer world begin to vibrate at the same frequency, remarkable things start happening. Information you need appears at the moment you need it. People who carry the next piece of your puzzle walk into your life at precisely the right time. Doors you did not know existed open right when you are ready to walk through them. This is not luck. This is not coincidence. This is the universe confirming that the direction your intuition is pointing you toward is real and valid and worth pursuing. Keep a record of these synchronicities, Aries. Write them down. Note the date, the circumstances, and the message they seem to carry. Over time, a pattern will emerge. A direction will become clear. A path will reveal itself through the accumulated weight of too many coincidences to dismiss. And that path, illuminated by synchronicity after synchronicity, will lead you directly toward the better income opportunities that your intuition has been sensing all along. Whisper 8. The courage that arrives without explanation. Something is happening to your courage, Aries. It is growing. Not the brash, impulsive kind of courage that your sign is famous for. The kind that charges into battle without looking first. This is different. This is a deeper, quieter courage. The kind that allows you to sit with uncertainty without flinching. The kind that lets you take a step forward without knowing where the staircase leads. The kind that says, I do not know what is coming, but I trust myself enough to handle whatever it is. This unexplained growth in courage is your intuition strengthening you for what lies ahead. It is your inner guidance system fortifying your emotional foundations so that when the right opportunity appears, you will have the inner resources to seize it without hesitation. Because the better income paths your intuition is guiding you toward will require you to step outside your comfort zone. They will ask you to do things you have never done, to trust in ways you have never trusted, to take risks that your logical mind might resist. And the courage that is building inside you now is the preparation for those moments. Do not take this growing courage for granted, Aries. Recognize it for the gift that it is. Your intuition is not just showing you the destination. It is also equipping you for the journey. And the fact that you feel braver, calmer, and more confident than you did even a few months ago is proof that the preparation is working, and that you are becoming the person who is ready for what is coming. Whisper 9. The urge to learn something specific. Have you felt a pull lately toward learning something particular, Aries? Not a vague desire for self-improvement, but a specific focused interest in a particular subject, skill, or area of knowledge. Maybe it is something related to finance. Maybe it is something creative. Maybe it is something seemingly unrelated to money that you are drawn to for reasons you cannot articulate. This urge to learn is not idle curiosity. It is your intuition preparing you with the knowledge and skills you will need for the income opportunities that are approaching. Your intuition operates on a timeline that is different from your conscious awareness. It sees what is coming months or even years before it arrives, and it begins preparing you accordingly. The urge to learn something specific is part of that preparation. The knowledge you acquire now, the skill you develop today, the understanding you build this week. It may not seem relevant to your financial life at this moment, but 6 months from now, a year from now, it may turn out to be the exact thing that qualifies you for an opportunity you could not have predicted. The exact thing that gives you an edge, a perspective, a capability that opens a door no one else can open. Follow this urge, Aries. Do not suppress it because it does not seem practical or financially relevant right now. Your intuition is playing a longer game than your conscious mind can see. Trust that the learning it is directing you toward has a purpose, even if that purpose is not yet clear. The dots will connect eventually. They always do. And when they do, you will look back at this moment and understand exactly why you felt drawn to learn what you are being drawn to learn right now. Whisper 10. The feeling that your current income does not reflect your true value. Deep inside you, Aries, there is a growing awareness that your current income does not reflect your true value. This is not greed talking. This is not entitlement or arrogance or an inflated sense of self-importance. This is the honest recognition that you bring more to the table than you are currently being compensated for. That your skills, your experience, your energy, and your unique perspective are worth more than the numbers currently flowing into your life suggest. This recognition is your intuition telling you that the current exchange rate between your value and your income is out of balance. And while that imbalance may have been acceptable or even invisible to you in the past, you can no longer ignore it. Something has shifted. A threshold has been crossed. And now the gap between what you contribute and what you receive feels not just noticeable but intolerable. This feeling is one of the most powerful catalysts for financial change. It is the internal pressure that eventually forces external action. It is the spring that has been compressed further and further, and is now ready to release. And when it releases, when you finally take action to align your income with your true value, the results will be significant. Not because the universe suddenly decides to reward you, but because you finally decide to stop accepting less than you deserve. Your intuition is not just telling you that you are worth more. It is giving you the emotional fuel to do something about it. Whisper 11. Peace in the midst of financial uncertainty. The 11th whisper is counterintuitive, especially for someone who has spent years worrying about money. You are beginning to find peace in the midst of financial uncertainty. Not because your situation has changed dramatically, but because something inside you has changed. The anxiety that used to grip you when you thought about money is loosening its hold. The fear that used to keep you awake at night is growing quieter. And in its place, a strange but welcome serenity is settling in. A serenity that does not depend on having all the answers or all the money or all the security you think you need. Some people watch. Others transform. If you want to be in the second group, the 21-day guide in the pinned comment gives you a clear step-by-step process aligned with your sign. This isn't about waiting. It's about moving. This peace is not naivety and it is not denial. It is the fruit of intuitive trust. Your deeper self has assessed the trajectory of your life and determined that, Despite current appearances, you are heading toward abundance. And that assessment, delivered not through logic but through feeling, has created a peace that transcends circumstance. It is the peace of someone who has looked beyond the storm and seen the clear sky on the other side. The storm is still real. The rain is still falling. But the knowledge that it will pass, that it is already passing, changes everything about how you experience it. This peace is a gift, Aries. Accept it without questioning it. Let it settle into your bones. Let it become the emotional foundation upon which you build your financial decisions going forward. Because decisions made from peace are infinitely wiser than decisions made from panic. And the income paths that your intuition is guiding you toward require the kind of clear, calm, centered decision-making that only peace can provide. Whisper 12. The awareness that time is precious and now is the moment. There is an urgency growing inside you, Aries, but it is not the frantic, panicky kind. It is a calm urgency, a clear-eyed recognition that time is precious, and that the moment to act on what your intuition is showing you is now. Not next month, not next year, not when everything is perfect and all the stars are aligned and every risk has been eliminated. Now, in the beautiful, imperfect, uncertain present moment where you stand right now. This awareness of time's preciousness is your intuition's way of creating momentum. It knows that the opportunities forming for you have windows. They are not eternal, open-ended invitations that will wait forever. They are time-sensitive openings that require action within specific time frames. And while your intuition cannot give you an exact calendar date, it can create within you a sense that the time is right, that delay is costly, and that the energy needed to act is available to you now in a way it may not be later. Honor this urgency, Aries. Do not confuse it with anxiety or desperation. It is neither. It is clarity. Pure, clean, undiluted clarity about the value of this moment and the importance of using it wisely. You have spent enough time preparing, analyzing, hesitating, and waiting for the perfect conditions that will never arrive. Your intuition has done its work. It has shown you the direction. It has given you the insights. It has built your courage and cultivated your peace. Now it is asking you to act, to move, to take the first step on the better income path that has been waiting for you just beyond the edge of your comfort zone. Whisper 13. A new relationship with risk. Your relationship with risk is changing, Aries, and this change is being guided entirely by your deepening intuition. In the past, your approach to risk was binary. Either you avoided it completely, paralyzed by the fear of losing what little you had, or you threw yourself into it with reckless abandon, fueled by the impulsive fire that is your birthright. Neither approach served you well. Avoidance kept you stuck. Recklessness cost you dearly. But now, something new is emerging. A middle path that combines the boldness of your Aries nature with the discernment of mature intuition. You are beginning to sense the difference between risks that carry genuine potential and risks that carry only the illusion of it. You are developing an ability to feel, before you can fully explain it, which opportunities are worth stepping into and which are traps disguised as possibilities. This intuitive risk assessment is one of the most valuable financial skills a person can possess, and it is developing in you right now with increasing accuracy and confidence. Trust this new relationship with risk, Aries. It is not the old impulsiveness wearing a new mask. It is genuine intuitive intelligence, honed by years of experience and refined by the inner work you have been doing. The risks you feel called to take in the months ahead are not random gambles. They are calculated investments of your energy, your time, and your resources into paths that your deepest wisdom has already evaluated and approved. Follow that wisdom. Take the risks it endorses. Walk away from the ones it warns you about. And watch how this new, intuition-guided approach to risk begins to transform your financial life in ways that neither pure caution nor pure boldness ever could. Whisper 14. The understanding that abundance is already present. The 14th whisper is perhaps the most profound and the most difficult to fully accept. It is the growing understanding that abundance is not something you need to create, attract, or earn. It is something that already exists in your life right now, in this moment, in forms you have been overlooking because they did not match your definition of what abundance should look like. Look at what you have, Aries, not through the lens of what is missing, but through the lens of what is present. The breath in your lungs is abundance. The knowledge in your mind is abundance. The love in your heart, the memories in your soul, the skills in your hands, the fire in your spirit. All of it is abundance. Real, tangible, undeniable abundance that has been with you all along, waiting to be recognized and appreciated and built upon. This understanding does not mean you should stop striving for greater financial prosperity. It means you should stop striving from a place of lack and start striving from a place of sufficiency. When you pursue more from a foundation of already enough, the energy of your pursuit changes completely. It becomes lighter, more joyful, more creative, more magnetic. And the abundance you attract from this energy is qualitatively different from anything you could attract from the energy of desperation and scarcity. Whisper 15. The readiness you feel in your bones. The 15th whisper needs no explanation because you already feel it, Aries. There is a readiness in your bones. A readiness that goes beyond desire or hope or ambition. A readiness that lives in the marrow of who you are. Deep and ancient and unshakable. You are ready for what is coming. Not because you have achieved perfection. Not because you have eliminated every fear and resolved every doubt. But because you have done enough work, grown enough, learned enough, and aligned yourself deeply enough with your true nature that you can now receive what was always meant for you. This readiness is your intuition's final confirmation. It is the green light, the all clear, the signal that the path is open and the timing is right, and the only thing standing between you and the better income opportunities that await is the decision to walk forward. Whisper 16, your intuition is not finished with you. The 16th and final whisper is simply this. Your intuition is not finished with you, Aries. What you have heard today is not the end of the conversation. It is the beginning. Your intuitive faculty is awakening to a level of activity and accuracy that will continue to grow in the months and years ahead. The whispers will become clearer. The guidance will become more specific. The connection between your inner knowing and your outer actions will become stronger and more seamless until eventually, following your intuition feels as natural and as automatic as breathing. The better income paths your intuition is guiding you toward are real. They exist. They are forming right now in the energy field around you, taking shape like clouds gathering before rain. And the rain, when it comes, will not be a drizzle. It will be the kind of abundant, nourishing downpour that soaks the earth and makes everything green and alive and growing. You have spent years relying primarily on logic, willpower, and sheer determination to navigate your financial life. And those tools have brought you this far. But they cannot take you where you need to go next. The next chapter of your financial journey requires a different kind of navigation. One that integrates the power of your mind with the wisdom of your intuition. One that honors both analysis and instinct. One that trusts the quiet inner voice as much as the loud outer facts. That voice is speaking to you now, Aries. It has been speaking to you throughout this entire experience. And what it is saying, if you quiet your mind long enough to hear it, is simple and clear and true. You are ready. The path is open. The opportunities are real. And the only thing left to do is trust yourself enough to take the first step. You have two options after this video. Close it and hope things shift, or decide that the next 21 days will be different. If you choose the second, the structured 21-day transformation aligned with your sign is waiting in the pinned comment. The energy is already moving, the only question is whether you are.